Hello, hello, beautiful friends. Today, I want to talk about 5 ways that we can very intentionally call in our community, call in our friends, really start to find those people who are on our same frequency, who are on our same wavelength. And I have gotten so many questions about this lately. And it's actually been a topic that has been very much on my mind because of how it's kind of come to fruition in my own life. So, for those of you who are new here, I am Kristen Hinman. I am a mom of three. I am a psychic and intuitive. I am currently training to be a high 70 energy healer, and I am starting this channel. I am starting this video series, which I'm calling Ask the Questions, so that we all have a safe space to start asking and exploring these questions that pop up for us as moms, as women, as mothers, daughters, sisters, you name it. So, my intention really is to hold that space for you, for anyone watching this who is craving that type of support and that type of community, and to really align you with the frequency that this type of thing is possible for you. I'll be sharing along on these video series different nuanced ways that the topic of the day has impacted my life, how I've navigated through it. I also plan to do a little bit of an energy clearing at the end, which will be, even if you're watching this, obviously it's not live, but it is still potent and powerful, and energy can travel across time and dimension. So I will be doing an energy clearing. In today's clearing, I feel called to do a heart chakra balancing clearing, and we'll do that at the end. So if you stay till the end, you'll get that benefit. And I will also pull a few inspiration cards, oracle cards, whatever I'm feeling called to that day. So I've already pulled some cards for you around this. And the cards really just act as messengers from the universe, asking us to explore deeper or to think about things in a different way or to really affirm what we've been going through and what we've been thinking. So let's dive in to the 5 ways that I personally have broken down how you can call in more aligned friendships, more aligned community. And this topic really started for me. Well, I would say it's something actually that I've been struggling, or at least perceived myself to have been struggling with for most of my adult life. I know everyone's different. I remember having a best friend who was also our neighbor when I was about 5 or 6 years old, and she moved away. I've had various, best friends throughout high school and college. And one thing that I really, as I look back on, and let me know if you agree, pop me a comment, or if you follow me on Instagram, I would love to have a direct message from you about this. When I look back and reflect, a lot of times it was just that either I kind of vibrationally wasn't on the same page, like energetically, to kind of call in sort of that best friend or really close friendship that I always felt like I was craving. Some of it was just that I didn't know myself. Some of it was I just wasn't fully showing up as myself in a lot of different ways. So I'll go through each of kind of like the 5 main categories that I've identified that have really helped me. The first thing is to really set the intention. I really want you to sit with that because intention is everything. Where we put our intention, where we put our time and effort, that's where our energy is going to flow. So a few months ago, I was on a call with one of my very dear friends who is also an intuitive and amazing psychic, who I've been seeing now for years. And I said out loud, I really want to call in my community. I want to call in some friendships. I really am craving that. I'm searching for that, especially at this phase in my life. I really want to feel more supportive. And a little bit after that call, I then actually I sat down and I wrote it out. And I very intentionally said, this is what I want to focus on. So along with that came kind of also a few other steps that evolved naturally. But honestly, as soon as I set that intention, I really felt the energy shift, and I noticed places where I was being called, or like places that would capture my attention. And I started kind of following that. So, as an example, someone I had known locally through my previous business posted that she was doing weekly yoga classes, and I immediately I was like, yes, that's for me. So I started going to her class weekly. It was just at her house. That kind of fizzled out, but through that we started connecting more, and I've really called in this amazing supportive friendship into my life just naturally through that. So that was like almost immediate, and then really just sort of setting that intention and then being aware of it and following it has really helped me. So I would highly encourage you. Just glancing off because I made some notes, I want to make sure I remember. I want to encourage you to anchor that intention in somehow. And it doesn't have to be some long, drawn out thing. Um, you could say it out loud to someone. You could say it out loud to yourself. You could write it down. You could do whatever you feel called to do. Plant a plant. Whatever feels in alignment with you, that's what you should do. So just simply set the intention, bring awareness to that intention. That's all that's required. And just sit with and be with the shifts if you notice any. Secondly, the kind of big thing that came out of that is really making sure that you clear out the energetic and emotional and sometimes even physical space. So that is going to look different for everyone, and it's going to really require some reflection on your part. Some really good journal prompts would be, where have I held back in the past? Where have I not fully been myself? Where have I been telling myself that this is not possible for me? Um, Maybe even making a list of people that you know or that you talk to a lot, or people that you often still think about. Really give that intention that you just created some momentum by evaluating those current relationships you have in your life and seeing if there's a way to create firmer boundaries with some of them. Maybe some of them are toxic relationships, really being willing to look at and evaluate that. Maybe it's just something that takes up a lot of your mental space and energy, and seeing where you can draw boundaries around that. I noticed that as soon as I did that, so much opened up for me. I started really connecting with people here in my own community, both locally, like in person, and then also online. I mean, we have such a robust tool, our phones, when used intentionally, to create these beautiful, meaning, lasting relationships. So the second thing is to really look at your own current relationships and clear out any space. Maybe it's even releasing physical items of past friendships. It could be things like that. So it's going to look different for everyone. Again, one of my main intentions, I should have said, with this video series is to really just have these be easy, have it be in flow. What I used to do is I might hear advice like this and really, like kind of go all out. Like, okay, I have to make a list and I have to do this. And I was kind of stuck in that achiever mindset, which I'm sure you can relate to. I want you to just take what resonates. If something resonates, think about it, write it down if you want to. Just bring it into your awareness, whatever works best for you. Let's just let it be easy, let it flow. We're going to set that intention right now, effective immediately, that this will all be easy and flowing. So number one, set the intention. Number two, clear out the space. Now, the third thing is to really, truly be open and to really ask to receive this. And so the difference between this and setting the intention is to really truly anchor in that this is available to you. This is something that is meant for you. You are worthy to receive this. You are worthy to receive a best friend if that's what you want. You are worthy to receive a community of supportive moms who come together when you need it most, who, bring you groceries or watch your kids at night. The sky's the limit. Don't set limits on what is possible for you. I want you to really believe it and ask for it. And then from there, part of that is just being open. Once you set the intention and you've cleared the space, you've asked for it, just be open to how it could pop in. So, all that means is, for instance, it could be a flyer you see in the grocery store. It could be someone who starts talking to you next to you at the grocery store. It could be someone online whose post like you've never seen before, or like a piece of artwork you're drawn to. I mean, honestly, just be open, because these types of things have a way of just dropping in when you least expect it. And I really want to remind you too, it's not a race. It's not like how many friends can I gather and collect the fastest. It's simply being open to connections and people, and maybe not everyone is meant to be your best friend. Maybe they're meant to come and kind of give you a message along the way. I know certainly that has happened to me. Um, Fairly recently, I started talking to another mom who had a little baby in a baby carrier and like a 3-year-old. And I ended up asking her a question, and we really hit it off. And it wasn't one of those things where, not because I didn't want to ask, but it just like the nature of the question I asked her was pretty personal. And it was something that I had been sitting with during that time. And she really kind of shed a light on the issue. And I asked it just by kind of striking up a conversation, essentially. And then in other ways, I've called in deeper friendships just through, I didn't realize that some of the people who I was already connected with, I really wanted to get to know better. And so I started to really put myself out there and make those inroads. Now, I want to caution you, I mentioned this is not a race. I want to caution you that, along with being open doesn't mean that you have to say yes to everything. So my kids are very young. My kids are 6, 4, and 1. I still need, and probably will, I need so much rest. I need so much time at home, like being with them, nurturing them, cooking for them, all the things that us moms do, that I honestly, literally cannot say yes to everything. And you don't have to either. This is permission for you not to have to say yes to everything. But really, truly, what's in alignment and what's meant for you, there will be like time and space to develop that. So I want you to remember that. Now, the fourth thing is to show up fully. Fully, fully, fully show up as yourself. In this time, this year, especially, this year that we're in right now, is so much about relationships. Like, it's so much about creating the right relationships that are aligned with you, really clearing up any kind of baggage, so to speak, from old relationships, clearing the air, setting firmer boundaries, that type of thing. But all of that to say, this time going into the next few years that we're going into is really the time to show up as yourself. It's almost like we don't have time to kind of pussyfoot around anymore. If you want to call in those real relationships that are really going to light you up, really support you, and really fulfill you, you have to be yourself. It's honestly like there's no other option. So really taking the time to like do that work around yourself, to speak what's on your mind, to say what you like and what you don't like, to say, even if someone reaches out and like some minor thing doesn't work for you, like your preference or like your schedule, say it. Just say, hey, this X, Y, and Z isn't going to work. But what if we did this? Because what we don't want to do is to call in relationships where we're having to hide ourselves, where we're having to change ourselves. Just show up full force as you are and trust that the people who are meant for you will be there to support you. Part of that too is that not everyone is going to be for you, and part of that too is that certain people may come into your life who may be kind of like a reflection of what you don't want. So just be open, just have that awareness. You don't have to say yes to everything, but you do need to show up like fully, authentically, truly as yourself. Start off on the right foot. And the last thing is awareness. Number 5, awareness. There's going to be adjustments. As I've mentioned before, there will be different times where people are maybe like not a match for you, or maybe they come into your life to show you something else, or maybe you're just meant to have kind of a brief interaction with them. But really, like, be aware without judgment. So be aware that, hey, maybe it's nice that I've met them, but they're not like the perfect fit for me. Or maybe they are the friend that I like to take a walk with, but maybe they're not the friend I go to for advice about, I don't know, how to decorate your house or something like that. That's a very real example for me. I had a friend who had a birthday party, and she texted me and said, like some Pinterest boards, and said, "Hey, what do you think of this?" And I said, "I'm not really your home decor friend, but if but if you want good food, I'm all about it." So that's kind of going back to like just being yourself, knowing what you're good at, knowing what you want to call in, and just being aware. Like just being aware that some people may or may not work for you, some people you're really going to connect with, and it's okay to pursue that right out the gate. Um, and not to be so hard on yourself if something works or doesn't work, just to go with the flow. We're going to set that intention again. We're here to go with the flow. We're here to call in our loving and supportive community. And so it is effective immediately. So those were my 5 tips, and they have really helped me over the last probably 4 to 5 months. I would say that doing this, being very intentional, I have called in the most amazing group of neighbors that I didn't even realize, friends, calling in someone who supports me in like movement and my business, and like movement, like workouts and all these, all of these amazing things. A friend who is like super nourishing, who like I know when I go to, like, it just feels like a big warm hug, and all of these things where like my friendship cup feels very full, and I also feel able to kind of like support and give to other people. So that is what has helped me, and I would love to hear in the comments if something like that has helped you. So right now we are going to do an energy clearing. So I would invite you, if you're not driving, to take a deep breath. Okay, also, before we start this is a very funny story. I think there is a tractor removing a dead deer outside on the highway, outside of my window, which is right here, which is why I keep looking that way. It's a little bit distracting. I live kind of out in the country, so to speak. So I have this big picture window by my kitchen that I just noticed a big orange tractor. Okay, back to the energy clearing. So I invite you to close your eyes if you are able to. If not, just find a center. Take a deep breath through your nose. Breathe in love and light. Exhale through your mouth. Exhale doubt and fear. Again, breathe in through your nose. Exhale, relax your shoulders, in your ears, in your forehead. Inhale one more time. Breathe in love and light. And exhale love. Okay, so I like to use this handy pendulum. I have already connected it to your energy and the energy of anyone who might be watching. So I am just going to ask this pendulum, please clear the energy of anyone watching across all times, planes, dimensions, consciousness. Please clear the energy, rebalance the energy in their heart chakra, any balancing that is needed for their highest and greatest good. Just take a moment, really feel it in your heart. Take a few more deep breaths if you need to. Even if you're not fully able to, this will still work. If you're not fully able to close your eyes, and this will still balance your heart chakra. Really take some time to support yourself today when you watch this. Identify one thing in this video that really resonated with you. Maybe you've already set the intention. Maybe there are areas where you could show up more fully as yourself. Maybe there are areas that you can adjust or tweak now that you're aware of it. I just invite you to be where you are and to really open that space for yourself. I hope you feel a little bit lighter in your heart chakra. I know I do. Again, it's really powerful, even though this is not live. I am setting the intention and sending the energy through this video. I do make sure to set up protections so that we're fully protected, and it's only energies of the highest light, love, truth, and compassion. And the last thing we'll do today is I've already pulled some cards to leave you with today. The first one is it's very fitting. It says to get back into balance. I use this daily crystal deck, which is beautiful. So the first one is to get back into balance. Beautiful imagery too. The second one is also very fitting. It says to go deeper. Go deeper, which is really fitting considering that we're talking about calling in communities, fully showing up as yourself, really letting yourself be seen. So go deeper. Whatever that, it's going to mean something different to everyone. Oh, and the last one is this is an interesting one. It says to recall your dreams. I'll hold them all up again. So I will, what I'll do is I will take a picture of these and pop it up into my Instagram when this video goes live. So I want to encourage you to put yourself out there and to really truly believe that your community is out there. Now, with all messages, with all channeled messages, I did channel some of this information. Also, some of it is through my direct experience and my reflections on it. But as with any information, please discern what feels right for you, what you want to take, what you want to leave. And I invite you to subscribe if this video was impactful for you. I invite you to follow me on Instagram, and I will leave a bunch of information on how to find me in the description below. And I look forward to evolving with you, to putting myself out there in this capacity, and to really hearing how this goes for you. I would love, if you remember, to come back and tell me some of the impact that this video has had on you. I will talk to you soon. Please hit subscribe, and I want to say namaste. So I will. Namaste.